How are we doing, Billies? Welcome back to another Stream AT video. Deep into the crypto bear market now. Bitcoin has been trending down since October, and today we look at the 2022 fractal compared to the 2026 fractal and how it's playing out nearly perfectly, nearly identical, and why I expect us to have lower to go. We'll look at how Bitcoin is well below the bull market support band, so even a rally up to 90k, Bitcoin will still remain in a bear market if we fail to break above. And also looking at how Bitcoin's in this bear flag at the minute with an 80k CME gap, potentially a liquidity driver to take price up to 80k before this bull market plays out. This bear flag, similar to like we've seen in the last bear market, we come down, this bearish pattern come down, bear flag come down, another bear flag before we eventually get the bottom just below the 0.786 from the bear market lows to the 2021 high at 70k. And right now, Bitcoin from the high in October before that massive liquidation event we've seen on the 10th of October is only down about 50%. And every other bear market, the three previous, we've seen below the 0.786 fib, which would be about 40,000. Now, I'm not necessarily saying I'm calling for 40,000, but even somewhere around 50k, I think, is very, very possible. And with the chart looking so bearish at the minute with these bear flags that we can see here, like we just had from November to January before rolling down, I see the same playing out here. But I mentioned in a previous video about starting a community, and I put the link in the bio. I've started a Telegram channel which you can join. This isn't going to be the community, but if you join there, the link is here, but I'll put it in the bio as well that you can join from. And this will just be an announcements channel. I'll put stuff in there, and when I make the community, you'll be first to hear about it in there. I'll also post charts and stuff in there, so it's just another place for us to be. So if you want to join that, the link's in the bio, completely free, and I'll just be putting some updates and announcements in there. And yeah, and before we move on to the rest of the video, if you're new here, subscribe, and everyone else, please like the video if you enjoy my content. And yeah, let's get on with this video. In the bottom could be in, we're going higher. I think we've got another 5-6 months of time capitulation left, and another pretty significant move down on Bitcoin. If we go to 50k, it would be another 25% move down. If we go to 40k, we're looking at about another 45% move down, which, to be honest, I think 40k is not out the realms of possibilities. So a 45% move down on Bitcoin, could you imagine what Ethereum gets to? I reckon we could get about a $600 Ethereum later this year. Again, at this moment in time, people are going to say that's crazy, that's not going to happen. And then if it happens, everyone's going to have left the space by then because they're going to think that Bitcoin's going to be bottomed out by then. But I think Bitcoin here comes down, bear flag comes down, another bear flag, and we're going to come down even lower. And as I said, we're below the bull market support band of the 50 EMA and the 50 SMA on the weekly time frame. As we can see, when we got below it in 2021, we come down, we back test it, and then we go lower. Again, in 2017, when we come down, we break below it, we come down, we back test it, and we go lower. We've seen the exact same this time round. We've come down, we've then back tested it, and we've rolled over again. So, as I've been saying with this fractal playing out from the 2022 cycle, playing out almost identically, slight difference at the minute, but again, we're still this downtrend, we're still on a downtrend. And if we look here and we take the exact same fractal from the 2021 high to the bear market low and up, this is kind of what we're looking like at the minute. And if the same was to play out in terms of the theory, we still have longer to go, time wise and price wise. Again, if we took the 2017 high down to the bear market and up, and we played this over as well, you get the gist of it. That if we compare the last two bear markets, we still have a lot lower to go. And again, when these come down from the highs to the lows of the 4-year cycle highs 2017, 4-year cycle high 2021, the 4-year cycle low of 2018 and 2022, you can see when we get this breakout of this downtrend, It's time to go. The breakout of this downtrend, time to go. And right now, as you can see, we're still in this downtrend. You can see this downtrend, and this downtrend yet to be broken out of. But again, if we see something like this, it would then be in this area, in here, this breakout in here, that I'd be wanting. That's when I would get really interested in trying to get into the market. This area in here would be when I'm trying to get in, try to get the breakout of the downtrend in here and in here. And if we were to get another opportunity in here, these opportunities don't come around often. They come around every 4 years. The 4-year cycle highs, the 4-year cycle lows. And I want to be here to take advantage of them. And even though the sentiment in the space right now is so bad, I'm happy to stick around and wait for these opportunities to arise later this year. And this is why I'm being patient at the minute. We're clearly in a downtrend on Bitcoin, clearly in a downtrend. As you can see, it's very similar to the last cycle. This clear downtrend, and we're currently in this clear downtrend. I think we have a lot lower to go. And even if the price doesn't go that much lower, the time capitulation, there's going to be a lot of time between now and the bottom. As I said, roughly 1 year of bear markets on Bitcoin. So from October high in 2025, it would be October of 2026, somewhere around here. Again, from the high in November of 2021 to the bottom in November of 2022, exactly a year. From the high in 2017, around November, December time, to the bottom December 2018, again, another year. So roughly a year of just rubbish price action, and that is why at the minute I'm risk off. That is why at the minute I'm patient, and that is why at the minute I'm looking for opportunities and not just whenever we get a nice pump or a grind up higher from, obviously Bitcoin got to 60k and we've now trended up to about 76k. So Bitcoin's went up 15%, or well, not 15%, 15k, but as I said, if we look at the price pattern, just simple technical analysis, the simple price action is this bear flag. So just simply price coming down and then coming lower. Again, if you take that from here, you can see price came down in here, came lower, and it looks exactly the same in here. And that is what I'm expecting to play out. And then this 81k CME gap, I would hope would be filled soon, but if not, it might just have to stay open. But yeah, I think comparing the 2022 cycle to 2026, you can just see the similarities already. And yeah, you see us come down, bear flag, come down, bear flag, come down. So again, this massive trend line that Bitcoin's yet to break is the same trend line in here that we didn't break from the 2021 highs until January 2023. So could we see a breakout in January 2017 and 2027? So again, somewhere in here, time frame wise. So again, all to be monitored. Right now, my stance is pretty clear. I'm risk off in the market, and I think we could go lower. And even if we don't go lower, I think there's going to be a lot of time capitulation with the 4-year cycles and the 1-year bear market and all the history from previous cycles. We can see the previous cycles here. 4-year cycle high, 2013, 4-year cycle low. If the history was to repeat or rhyme slightly from the last 3 cycles, I'd expect something similar to what I've been saying for this time around. But again, nothing's guaranteed, obviously. But it's just what I'm kind of looking at for this cycle. And yeah, all my videos at the minute are bearish. It's not great. They're boring probably to watch, frustrating to watch, but I can only record and give my thoughts on what I see in the market. And right now, quite frankly, I'm risk off. And yeah, this is my outlook on the market at the minute. And if we look back a few months ago when I was extremely bullish on altcoins, and this was kind of due to the Russell 2000, which is the small caps of the stock market. And at that time, we'd broke above in October, we'd come down, we'd reacted nicely off this fib level, and then burst up into new all-time highs around January time, which was why I was bullish, because if I show you the total 2, which is the whole crypto market cap, it's good in Bitcoin, so Ethereum and the rest of the altcoin market, what we can see, if I make this clearer for everyone to see. So in yellow, you can see the total 2. So the whole crypto market cap. Yeah, so in the yellow here is the whole crypto market cap. It's probably better in blue. What am I doing? Total 2, right, here we go. Second time lucky. Right, that'll still do. Right, so in the blue we have the total 2 against the Russell. And what we could see, it's not clear, is it? Right, let's put in, yeah, right, so the total 2 and the Russell peaked in October 2021. They both had the same bear market price action. They both had the same high in December of 2024 when XRP ran 400%, 500%. But what we can see, when the Russell made that move up, the total 2 was lagging in here. Which is why when the Russell from the tariff lows, which the total 2 also had, when the Russell made this new all-time high back in January, and at that moment in time, we can see that the total 2 was in here lagging. It looks similar to what we were doing back in August before we caught up and had that massive explosive move, which is why I thought we could get this massive explosive move. And I knew that something was lying in here. Either the Russell was lying or the total 2 was lying, because we've seen for the last 5 years they've been correlated. And then in here, because we've seen what happened here, I thought the total 2 would catch the Russell, but then the total 2 is just fallen off a cliff, and as a result, well, Bitcoin's obviously topped in October now. We can clearly say that 126k for the cycle, the 4-year high, and as we can see, the Russell is starting to roll over now. So again, that's cleared things up, but it kind of just gave me false signals at the time. It made me bullish because I thought this was going to break up to the upside and lag like it did previously in here. But obviously the total 2 broke down and now the Russell's rolling over. So it is what it is. And I just have to take my medicine on that one. And we go again. But yeah, this is what I'm seeing in the charts. As I said, if you want to join my Telegram, the link will be in the bio. And yeah, I'll be putting updates, announcements, stuff in there. And we'll take it from there. I'm working on getting a community going on Discord. And yeah, we'll get that set up fairly soon over the bear market. I want to be here building in the bear market, because I think the bear market's where the most serious people are here. And yeah, I want a community full of the serious people in the space. So not just people that come when Bitcoin's at all-time high and then they buy the top and then they get wrecked because they sell on the way down. I want the people who are here making the most of the lows, and yeah, that is what we're going to be doing on this channel.